Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Siralim Ultimate, and before we get going I should just mention at the start, just in case that things go wrong later, I'm gonna mention right at the outset that I am not entirely sober at the moment. I'm not, I'm not blackout drunk or anything, but I was out for an evening of, an evening out of an evening of enjoyment earlier today, and a good time was had. I had 3 or 4 beers and a couple bourbons, and I am slightly buzzed, I think is an accurate way to put it, but I still think I am in good enough shape to do this episode, because I remembered from last episode that we really only have one realm to do in this episode. Let me roll a good item bonus. 354 sounds good. Less charges is... listen, all the realm properties are bad. Less charges is annoying, but it's not the worst. Resurrect on Death is also bad, but also not the worst. So we'll stick with 354 for now. But yes, as I was saying, I'm slightly buzzed. I feel okay playing this very difficult game in this state of slight inebriation. Mainly because it's a turn-based game. Like, I would never play Diablo 2, especially not Diablo 2 Hardcore, if I was even slightly drunk, just because that's just asking for trouble. I have played Diablo 3 drunk, but mainly because that's a different kind of game. Diablo 3, if you know what you're doing, you're basically invincible. It's very easy to avoid getting yourself killed in that game. Again, if you know what you're doing. Diablo 2, definitely not. Path of Exile, I don't know. I'm not an expert on Path of Exile. So if any of you are Path of Exile veterans, you can let me know if that's the kind of game that you would be comfortable playing hardcore mode after having a few drinks. Could be a fun conversation to have. But anyway, this episode, all we have to do is get through this realm. How difficult could it possibly be? I think the hardest part is going to be remembering which realm to go to. So I think we did Land of Breath and Balance. Indeed, Land of Breath and Balance was where we fought and killed Myrtle, the nether boss, amazingly on our first attempt. So that would mean the next realm on our list is the Overgrown Temple. Let's just go straight in. Enemies are gonna have microbots as a minion. Excuse me, microbots. Let's remind ourselves what microbots do. You'll find them under realm properties. They are a minion. Sorry, status effects. They are a minion. What they do? Each microbot deals damage to a random enemy equal to 50% of its intelligence. This could get out of hand pretty quickly, but hopefully most fights shouldn't be that bad. Let's see if we can get some buffs of our own to counteract. Oh hey, another realm. Should we go straight in? Well, you know what, let's go straight in. I was worried about this. This is gonna be the Elite 3 fight, and now that we are inside, we have to do this. And we don't have any buffs. So we're gonna start out by fighting the Houndmaster, Bourbon of the Elite 3. He's gonna tell us a little bit about hounds. Hounds prefer to travel in packs. They do have a lot of synergies with the direwolf minion type. Let's see if we can do something about that, unless they are quick, which they are not. So let's see if we can just end this fight quickly with rabid dementia. It's possible. Yep. Well, they have Resurrect on death. But even with that, they didn't last long. So that's one of the 3 trainers dealt with. Our Hound Mastery, now at level 4. Fantastic. Oof. I mean, I wasn't expecting this kind of... Okay, this could be the end. This could be the death of us. So many of them are going before us. And they're casting 11 times. Our Animatus is gonna come back. But... oh my god, what is even going on? What is even... oh no! I think this is the end. Yep, this is the end. We didn't have a chance. This isn't even that I was drunk and I made the wrong call. They just had too many turns ahead of us and they killed us. And we didn't have the good fortune of our Dread White passing his 50% chance to automatically resurrect. Nonetheless, we killed 1 master, which puts us on par. Now here's an interesting question. On the map... okay, so that does count as a master kill, which is unfortunate, because it was a special encounter, but the game considers it as us having killed... oh no. Oh, why? Why this guy? Why this enemy type? The reason I hate this, so the enemy in the top middle has a trait called Stand as One, and... what? Is there a... oh, there's also a chance to resist damage. On top of all this other garbage, there is a chance to resist damage. Do they also have good luck on top of a chance to resist damage? No? Then why have they resisted damage twice in a row? Alright, I'm thoroughly unamused. Mainly I'm annoyed because if we had beaten the Manticore Master, we could have potentially had another Master after that, and all those treasure chests as well. It's okay though, it's fine. I'm over it. The other annoying thing about Stand as One is that it feels buggy because it triggers the other irritating game limitation of enemies. You're only allowed to inflict damage on them a certain number of times in a turn, and even instances of 0 damage count as damage, which just doesn't... it doesn't seem like it's working the way any sane person would intend, but nonetheless, that's the way the game is at the moment. Okay, we have less speed. They don't have more speed, but we have less speed. I was wondering why our enemies had the move advantage against us. They have more spell slots. They're not casting more often, but they are... oh, they're resisting damage, and it's really upsetting me. It's upsetting me quite a bit. I think we'll be fine. By the way, have we spoken to the god yet? I don't think we have. This is the Overgrown Temple, the god of which is Generos. I mistakenly thought we'd spoken to the god in the first failed attempt, but I don't think we even reached the god altar. This is Generos, the god of strife. What does he have to say? He says, "Welcome to my temple, my den. You're free to take and consume whatever resources you deem necessary for your survival, but nothing more than that." Seems fair. And he says, "If there's anything I can do to assist you, ask. I shall do my best to aid you." Well, what about something we can do to help you, such as a donation? He says, "Thank you, Darius. Your generosity does not go unnoticed." Alright. How many more roaming enemies? 3. One of them is there. Alright, hopefully we don't get wiped out. They're strong against chaos, and we do now have 2 chaos creatures in our party who are both unsurprisingly dead. But so far, we are surviving. Oh, hey, a dumpling. That has lifted my mood considerably. However, the dumpling will most likely go before us. So before we interact with it, let's get all the buffs for us, all the debuffs for our enemies. Maybe we'll get something like sleeping or frozen or snared, giving us a better chance, because if the dumpling moves first, there's a pretty high chance that it'll just run away before we get a chance to do anything at all. Anything at all. Alright. Let's try and punch this guy who doesn't look like he has a barrier. That should kill all the others. Why are you... Okay, a couple of them had rebirth. But this is why we've got rabid dementia, which is just a... It's very quickly become one of my favorite spells in this entire game. It's just so good. And we have one more wandering enemy. And hopefully, maybe we'll find, you know, a couple special encounters. But if not, we've got a dumpling. That's good enough. That's a decent thing to find. By the way, that altar, that bloody altar that I just interacted with, it has a chance to instead give you combat, which would give you double the amount of favor. Although with a speed debuff, I don't know. I think I'd rather not get into combat. Okay, I see why my Ebony Ant is casting Arbitration so often. Is because even those tiny pips, you know, that +5, +3 HP, that still technically counts as a heal. And it's depleting his Arbitration spell charges. So maybe I need to fix that up a little bit. Right, I think we're done with wandering enemies. We are. Enemies are vulnerable. Next creature, we're resistant to debuffs, which does not help me against, well, it doesn't help me kill a dumpling. Ooh, you should give me some loot. Thank you for that. This might. This should give me a buff of some kind. This is another one of those battles where the enemies are the same units that you have in your party, but not the same build. So they're just gonna have basically the same advantages that the rest of the realm enemies have. I don't know why you killed yourself, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You're dead. Oh, we completed the realm quest. And we gain a minion. We gain microbots of our own. And a couple realm quests to hand in as well. I think we're at the end of our rope in terms of buffs and debuffs. All we can do is hope that this dumpling doesn't run away, because I do think he's gonna go first. Oh, he's not. So you know what? Let's do this and hope that he doesn't get outrageously lucky rolls with damage resistance. Well, he resisted once, but 2 punches were enough to take him down. Gives us another 1.41 million, which is good for a good amount of levels. Now we're basically done with this realm, but we have a couple other optional fights to get into. So these vines, which are it's hard. Well, it's not hard, but it's easy to miss unless you're looking at them. The ones that are kind of animated, like they've got a couple of different sprites and they're kind of moving, whereas other bits of vegetation on this map, when we get to them, they will be entirely static. These ones, the moving ones, they will give you optional combats. And I'll read this text. It says, "This realm is overgrown with all manner of foliage. In an effort to make this area a bit more habitable, you order your creatures to hack away the vines ahead of you. Except these aren't just any vines, no. They belong to a family of hungry snap traps. They attack. And they are all going before us because they've got the speed bonus. But they seem to have not made great use of their turn advantage, and now they're dead. Gives us 150 favor with Generos, getting close to the next favor rank. And here's one more. See, this one, it's moving. This one, it's entirely still. You can just walk through it. That's nothing. This one is the thing. Oh, those statues give us buffs. These statues are not. Those statues are useless. Hang on. I think there might be some other buff-giving statues. No. I think there's just one left. So this is one of those realms where it's a little bit hard to visually remember which things are useful in terms of objects you can interact with, and which ones are just there as decorations, and it's kind of difficult to remember the difference between the statues that give you buffs and the statues that are just there to look pretty. Anyway, this seems like it's the last thing to do in this realm, so let's go for it. Again, same flavor text. Once again, 4 of them going before us. Once again, our Ebony Ant arbitrating some non-existent buffs away from our enemies. And I think once again it's going to be Rabid Dementia for the win. There we go. Another 150 favor, and I don't think this is a divination candle friendly realm, just because you never want to. You generally don't want to do it when enemies are going before you, just because it makes things too slow. When you're fighting divination candle enemies, you want it to go quickly. So we're just going to make sure we've donated. We have. And we're going to take a quick look around the map. Have we completed everything we have? Well, there's this tiny... Well, I guess I'll show you. I was going to leave it, but I guess I'll show you that thing, which just looks like a metal plate lying on the ground. It'll give you some tiny amount of resources if you walk into it, but that's about it. Other than that, nothing of note. So we're gonna head home. We're gonna head home. We're gonna turn in 3 projects. That's a lot. And we're gonna start some other projects to replace them, starting with a hunt. We've also got training for attack and a raid. Raid will just give you some random loot, including trait materials, these amber materials for upgrading artifacts, and these curios for, you know, ooh, and I think also, yes, these ones for upgrading spell gems. So you get a wide assortment, and also various bits of knowledge for creatures. So just an all-around fun situation. So now we've got to start a new project, because as I mentioned, you should always have 5 projects running. We're just gonna start another hunt. On a... Can we hunt Griffin veterans yet? Was it Griffin veteran or veteran Griffin? I don't think so, because I think it's still at a too low level of yep, Griffin Dreamfinder, but no Griffin veteran in this list. Let me make sure it's Griffin veteran and not veteran Griffin. Griffin veteran, yeah, it's only at E rank. When it reaches D rank, then we'll be able to hunt it. So with that in mind, let's just hunt a random creature. We'll just... Alexandria, sure, why not? We'll hunt you. And we'll start a new project. Let's... We just did training for attack, let's do training for defense. I'm just collecting scrolls. I haven't used any of them yet. As you can see, I've got 27 attack and 24 of all the others. I'm just doing one at a time, and then I go back to the top of the list and I do more. And then eventually I'm gonna actually use these scrolls, because you can use them to increase the base stats for your creatures, which will make them significantly more powerful, but I haven't done that yet. And I think we should just start... do we need a mission for our rune? I don't think so. Life creatures, nature, resources, pilgrimage, which we're already doing. Buried treasure. So let's just do. Let's just do a raid for a nice balance. If you specifically want artifact crafting materials, you can do a forage For spell gem materials, you can do an experiment mission. If you desperately need a specific trait material, you can do an assassination mission, although I wouldn't recommend it because it takes a very long time to do. And usually you can just find the materials over time anyway. So I prefer to do these shorter missions. Let's do another raid. And I think with that, we're basically done with this episode. Next episode, we... Wait, what? I thought we had the false god fight coming up. Or was that not on this realm? I guess that wasn't in this realm, so that means we have one other realm that we can do. You know what? I'm feeling energized enough. Let's just do one other realm. This episode hasn't gone that long. So let's get a nice item bonus. Could have sworn we were one episode away from a false god fight, but either that is not correct or I didn't save the game properly. Let me get a good item bonus. Anything above 300 and I'll stop 359 is fantastic. Let me just check my cards. Because I do know we found a Bard card, the Bard Jongleur. And also the Efreet, the Wildfire Efreet. Okay, so I saved my game fine, I just didn't do my math correctly. Anyway, let's do another realm, the Path of the Damned this time. This is a, well, you can see the background, other than the part that we're walking on, is just skulls as far as the eye can see. The god is Erebus, the god of darkness, who says, "May the darkness guide you, Darius. What is it you need?" Well, I mean, we need all kinds of things, but what is it that you need, Erebus, a goddess of darkness? How about 1,000 granite? Does that sound like something you need? And she says, "May the darkness guide your way." I do like darkness myself. Not a fan of, you know, bright places, if I'm being honest. So what are we dealing with? Damage reflection is annoying, but I think we can handle that. You're invisible. Wait. Oh, no, not damage reflection. Damage every turn. That's a different thing. I was like, why aren't we taking the reflect damage? But no, it was a different thing. Ooh, hey, another Nether Realm. Should we enter? It's not the Elite 3. However, he says, "Greetings, traveler. Have a seat, grab a drink, take a load off. You're welcome." But who are these other two people? Oh, these are the guys who sell... They will sell you trait materials. What I'll do is, I'll talk to both of them. If there's anything that I don't have any of, I'll buy. I tell you what, this one that I have only 2 of, even though it doesn't seem that useful, I'll buy one just to make it a cool 3 for that material. And now let's just continue on with this realm. We've got 6 enemies, we've got a master, we've also got this optional combat, these skulls that we're being asked to lay to rest. You're invisible. So it seems that because our enemies are fused with shades, Some of them are just going to be invisible at the start of combat, which is going to make things annoying because it'll mean that they are untargetable. Alright, let's blaze through this quickly. We've got to take this guy out, this annoying guy. And now they should lose stand as one as soon as this turn ends. And now they should die, hopefully. Okay. We killed them before the game annoyingly decided that they had taken quote-unquote damage too many times for that turn. Alright. That gravestone that we just interacted with, it's a loot object. You'll get a good amount of loot when you do that. We will get another favor rank for doing this, which gives us dumpling spawn chance. Outstanding. More loot from that gravestone. Collecting more materials. This should give us a buff. And that's all it does. Alright. I'm a little curious as to why we missed twice in a row. Was it just bad luck, or was it due to a shade trait? Regardless, we're doing okay so far. Kind of. What? One of these jokers cast arbitration. Now, almost all of them are invisible, except for one of them. Salamanders are just really, really annoying. Just because they have a lot of spell-casting nonsense. But hopefully this is the end of them. It was. Okay, good. Ooh, hey, a Pandemonium Shrine. What does it do? It summons one of the Pandemonium enemies. In this case, the Pandemonium Queen will get a special Pandemonium trait material for our troubles. I think we should be fine. It's not like a boss fight or anything. It's like a regular enemy, just an uncommon enemy. An uncommon enemy that... Oh god, why are you coming back? Get lost. An uncommon enemy that you cannot summon at the divination candle. You have to fight them via these special encounters. We are now also defensive, and the enemy has 2 of these annoying units, 3 of these annoying units. So let's take you out. And then hopefully finish you off. Those Sparktail couriers can throw a lot of your damage back at you if you don't fight them intelligently. Alright. Let's finish things. Okay, that seems like hasn't really worked out that well, although we killed one of them. Corpse explosions are now going to trigger. And maybe if we do Rabid Dementia, we can just finish them off. I think we might be okay. Yeah, because now corpse explosions are going to trigger. And then... Why are you coming back? Dungeon Shades? This is a little annoying. Are we... All I want is my turn so I can act. Can I go? Okay, thank you. Thank you, game, for generously allowing me to... Right, because you had taken quote-unquote damage too often. What? I have no idea what's going on. Oh. Clearly something is... Some unusual interaction is causing turns to go longer than they should, but we should... We should be able to kill you now. Okay, good. There we go. Are you done? Are you finally done? Finally done. Okay. Nemesis creatures are gone. There is probably our master for this realm. This is gonna be some loot. No more wandering enemies. So that's good. We have somebody to rescue. That's our realm quest. And I know where that person is. I deliberately didn't interact with them because I wanted to deal with the master first. Ooh, and also these mushrooms will debuff enemies. They're now vulnerable. They've also lost speed. They are cursed. They've lost even more speed. And before we fight the trainer and attempt to end this realm quest, let's see if there are any more mushrooms that we've left behind. Nothing there, nothing there. Okay, nothing here. Nothing there. I'm not seeing any mushrooms. There might be some in this tiny bit of unexplored area. There's an interactable up there which will give us a bit of favor. We're also completing prophecies, which is nice. Now let's interact with our master. The Lich Master, currently we have only level 1. Ooh, now this is an interesting question. Do we think we can win by just attacking? The Lich King is invisible, of course. Gateway Shade. So let's attack the Lich Hellcaster. We killed one of them. Came close to killing a second one, but not quite. And our Centaur Duelist, I think, will inflict confusion on 2 of these enemies. Although one of them was also almost dead, so doesn't really help that much. But I think we've basically won, because Rabid Dementia should end this fight. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe things are gonna be trickier than I anticipated. Let's try this again. Now we should be fine. Now they're dead. We've beaten the Lich Master. Our Lich Mastery now at level 2. And to end this realm, we just have to go down here and nearly left that key fragment behind. And we've got to talk to this person. This is Lusan, the person we're supposed to rescue. He is cowering in fear as a pack of creatures ready themselves to attack. You and your creatures rush forth to defend this person from a slaughter. Once again, we have a tough decision to make. Do we want to attack or do something else? Let's again try to attack. One of them was killed with a big hit. I think this is over. I think this is a one and done combat. So we've completed the realm quest. Oh, he said thank you for rescuing me, something along those lines. I'm sorry I skipped it, but trust me, it wasn't anything profound. And we've also completed the realm quest. We've gotten a bit of favor with the goddess of darkness and a bit of fortune. And now we are finally done with this episode. So let us head back. Where is the exit? There is the exit. And now, when we go back to Siralim, the next realm will have the false god, Impington Reborn. And conveniently, we already have an item bonus of 312. So we're not even gonna have to spend any energy re-rolling. But yes, that's gonna be an interesting fight. I'm definitely not doing that while tipsy. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow. A good night's sleep, I think, is gonna help. Even though I don't know anything about the boss, so it's not like I'm gonna spend the night strategizing. But I do think being fully sober is conducive to making good decisions in the moment. But anyway, that is all gonna be for the next episode. For now, it is time for me to say thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I do hope you will join me for the next episode for our epic showdown against Impington Reborn. It's gonna be a fun one. So yes, hope to see you then, and until then, take care.